I think there were so many things said in these two press conferences that seemed crazy to me. Brian Cashman is talking about injuries being a big part of the 2023 season and why they won only 82 games. Got it, right? But besides the fact that the Astros were hurt at least as much as them, the Dodgers were probably hurt more. Tampa Bay with a $100 million payroll lost their entire rotation, etc. And the Yankees had two freak injuries. The reason they didn't survive the freak injuries to Judge and Rizzo is because other players got hurt. You know who those players were? Injury-prone players they keep adding to the roster. You know, when you add an injury-prone player like Carlos Rodon, when you pick up the option on an injury-prone player like Severino, when you trade for an injury-prone player like Donaldson or Stanton, you know what's going to happen on your roster? They're going to get injured. Then you can't complain and say injuries are a reason we're having problems.
Right, and you wonder whether they handled the Rizzo injury properly. I was there for that injury. He stumbled away. It looked like he had a concussion. Again, I think they relied on asking him, "How do you feel?" And he's one of the toughest guys in baseball. And he said, "I'm good enough to play," or whatever he said 3 days later after having that collision with Tatis. And I think they probably didn't handle that right. He didn't end up playing. He played a while and he obviously wasn't himself. They let it go on for a long time where he was hitting like me or you, not Anthony Rizzo. Finally, he had to admit, something's wrong. And then he didn't play at all after that. So did they handle the injuries right? I mean, they've evaluated it, but I have no problem with him defending himself, defending the processes. But other than the fact that I'm not sure that he has done his self-evaluation enough to understand that there are more problems than he thinks. And just like asking Rudy Odor whether Joey Gallo can play in New York isn't enough, asking Anthony Rizzo whether he's ready to go is not really going to cut it. You're going to have to really look and ask the doctor and make sure that he can go. So I don't know that they handled that properly. And then the defense, to change it a little bit, that we have the biggest scouting department and the smallest analytics department. Now, I don't think the Yankees having the smallest analytics department in the league is necessarily a positive thing, but okay, he's saying we're not relying on analytics, but ultimately he makes the decisions and he's going to listen to the right people. And it feels like from what you hear is that he has listened to the analytics people, even if there are fewer of them. They have more power. It doesn't matter what the numbers are, it's who you're listening to.